Above all else I want to see. 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 Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. Above all else I want to see. 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 Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. Above all else I want to see. 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 Can we keep that idea in our minds today? He says try for every 15 or 20 minutes. Try to think about it. At least a couple times an hour. Try to bring that idea to your mind. Above all else, I want to see. Let's go take a look at our lesson. It's kind of cold this morning, so I'm going to put my gloves on. Got my old hot rock wrapped up in a towel, and keep my gloves on it, and I can warm up my fingers if I need to. Anyway, got a little umbrella over my head. The snow's kind of trickling down, not too strong right now. But thank you all so much for joining me here on this cold, it's a Saturday for me, but this will be for your lesson 21 or 27 for Tuesday, January the 27th of 2026. Above all else, I want to see. And I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. Above all else, I want to see. Let's see if I can get my page open to the right page. Today's idea expresses something stronger than mere determination. It gives vision priority among your desires. You may feel hesitant about using the idea on the grounds that you are not sure you really mean it. This does not matter. The purpose of today's exercises is to bring the time when the idea will be wholly true a little nearer. There may be a great temptation to believe that some sort of sacrifice is being asked of you when you say you want to see above all else. If you become uneasy about the lack of reservation involved, add, vision has no cost to anyone. Above all else, I want to see. Vision has no cost to anyone. If fear of loss still persists after you say vision has no cost to anyone, add further, it can only bless. Above all else, I want to see. Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. And that was our whole song right there. Above all else, I want to see. Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. Vision can only bless. The idea for today needs many repetitions for maximum benefit. It should be used at least every half hour and more if possible. You might try for every 15 or 20 minutes. It is recommended that you set a definite time interval for using the idea when you wake or shortly afterwards, and attempt to adhere to it throughout the day. It will not be difficult to do this even if you are engaged in conversation or otherwise occupied at the time. You can still repeat one short sentence to yourself without disturbing anything. Above all else, I want to see. The real question is, how often will you remember to say, above all else, I want to see? How much do you want today's idea to be true? Answer one of these questions and you have answered the other. You will probably miss several applications and perhaps quite a number. Do not be disturbed by this, but do try to keep on your schedule from then on. If only once during the day you feel that you were perfectly sincere while you were repeating today's idea, you can be sure that you have saved yourself many years of effort. Wow, just by being sincere that you want to have vision, that you want to see through the eyes of Christ, the forgiven world, the world of love, the real world, the world that God created instead of the one you made. But you'll save yourself many years of effort. Okay, and then we're talking about maybe not just a few years in this life, maybe whole lifetimes that you wouldn't have to learn the lessons the hard way, because you learn it this way, the beautiful way, the easy way. Above all else, I want to see. Okay, that promise he says there at the end, he says, if only once during the day you feel that you were perfectly sincere while you were repeating today's idea, you can be sure that you have saved yourself many years of effort. Okay, well, let's do just that. Okay, let's go back and take a look in our text reading. And we're ready for, we're in chapter 3, the innocent perception, judgment, and the authority problem. We've already discussed the last judgment, but in insufficient detail. After the last judgment, there will be no more. Judgment is symbolic, because beyond perception, there is no judgment. When the Bible says, judge not that you be not judged, it means that if you judge the reality of others, you will be unable to avoid judging your own. And that's a quote that Jesus had said there on the very first verse of, it's recorded in Matthew chapter 7. Judge not lest you be judged, for with the same judgment you judged, it shall be measured to you again. Well, he says here that judge not that you be not judged. It means that if you judge the reality of others, you will be unable to avoid judging your own. The choice to judge rather than to know is the cause of the loss of peace. Wow, catch that. That'll make you not want to make any judgments, huh? If you're really sincere about wanting to see which vision brings peace. If your goal is peace, and to see as God sees, and to feel as God feels, then judgment's something that you'll learn to do less and less, until finally you don't use it at all. He's going to explain that. The choice to judge rather than to know is the cause of the loss of peace. Judgment is the process on which perception, but not knowledge, rests. I have discussed this before in terms of the selectivity of perception, pointing out that evaluation is its obvious prerequisite. Judgment always involves rejection. It never emphasizes only the positive aspects of what is judged, whether in you or in others. What has been perceived and rejected or judged and found wanting remain in your mind because it has been perceived. One of the illusions from which you suffer is the belief that what you judged against has no effect. This cannot be true unless you also believe that what you judged against does not exist. You evidently do not believe this, or you would not have judged against it. In the end, it does not matter whether your judgment is right or wrong. In the end, it does not matter whether your judgment is right or wrong. Either way, you are placing your belief in the unreal. This cannot be avoided in any type of judgment. because it implies the belief that reality is yours to select from. Paragraph 3. You have no idea of the tremendous release and the deep peace that comes from meeting yourself and your brothers totally without judgment. When you recognize what you are and what your brothers are, you will realize that judging them in any way is without meaning. In fact, their meaning is lost to you precisely because you are judging them. All uncertainty comes from the belief that you are under the coercion of judgment. You do not need judgment to organize your life, and you certainly do not need it to organize yourself. In the presence of knowledge, all judgment is automatically suspended. In the presence of knowledge, all judgment is automatically suspended. And this is the process that enables recognition to replace perception, to recognize, to recognize, to rejoin with knowledge. Will eventually replace perception, but we have to let go of judgment. This is what we're learning when we say, above all else, I want to see. I just want to see. I want to have knowledge. I want to have vision. I don't want to use judgment to run my life, because that makes me not be able to know. Leaves me in a world of uncertainty. Paragraph 4. You are very fearful of everything you have perceived but have refused to accept. You believe that because you have refused to accept it, you have lost control over it. You believe that because you have refused to accept it, you have lost control over it. This is why you see it in nightmares or in pleasant disguises in what seem to be your happier dreams. Nothing that you have refused to accept can be brought into awareness. Nothing that you have refused to accept can be brought into awareness. It is not dangerous in itself, but you have made it seem dangerous to you. Paragraph 5. When you feel tired, it is because you have judged yourself as capable of being tired. When you laugh at someone, it is because you have judged him as unworthy. When you laugh at yourself, you must laugh at others, if only because you cannot tolerate the idea of being more unworthy than they are. All this makes you feel tired because it is essentially disheartening. You are not really capable of being tired, but you are very capable of wearying yourself. The strain of constant judgment is virtually intolerable. It is curious that an ability so debilitating would be so deeply cherished. Yet if you wish to be the author of reality, you will insist on holding on to judgment. You will also regard judgment with fear, believing that it will someday be used against you. This belief exists only to the extent that you believe in the efficacy of judgment as a weapon of defense for your own authority. Okay, let me get my page adjusted here a little better. Okay. God offers only mercy. Now, he talks about not laughing at others. And I want to make a little comment there. I'm pretty confident that he wants us to laugh, because he told us at one point that the whole reason that we fell into disarray and began to have problems because the Son of God remembered not to laugh. So we want to be able to laugh, particularly at our mistakes, but we don't want to do it in that way to where we're condescending, where we're poking fun at people. We want to laugh at our own mistakes, though, and I mean, that's one of the things that I really enjoy doing, is when I wake up to something and I realize there's a better way. It usually always makes me laugh. I go, oh my. And so we want to don't get caught in that thinking that you have to be sober. He wants you to be happy. Very, very important. But just don't be belittling people with your laughter. That's certainly not what he wants us to do. Okay, let's go on. God offers only mercy. Your words should reflect only mercy, because that is what you have received, and that is what you should give. Justice is a temporary expedient, or an attempt to teach you the meaning of mercy. It is judgmental only because you are capable of injustice. I have spoken of different symptoms, and at that level there is almost endless variation. There is, however, only one cause for all of them: the authority problem. This is the root of all evil. Okay, the authority problem is the root of all evil. Now, the Bible says that money is the root of all evil, and he uses that statement. And that's out of Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10. But let me just point out that he's not in disagreement with the Bible. He's just taking it a little deeper. In other words, on the surface, it might appear that money is the root of all evil. But underneath the love of money is the authority problem. So let's look at that a little deeper now. So there is, however, only one cause for all of them: the authority problem. This is the root of all evil. Every symptom the ego makes involves a contradiction in terms, because the mind is split between the ego and the Holy Spirit, so that whatever the ego makes is incomplete and contradictory. This untenable position is the result of the authority problem, which, because it accepts the one inconceivable thought as its premise, can produce only ideas that are inconceivable. And what that one inconceivable thought, that reality is up to you to make, and that you can choose it. You don't have to listen to your Creator and follow His authority, which is really the only thing that'll ever make you happy. Paragraph 8. The issue of authority is really a question of authorship. When you have an authority problem, it is always because you believe you are the author of yourself and project your delusion onto others. You then perceive the situation as one in which others are literally fighting you for your authorship. This is the fundamental error of all those who believe that they have usurped the power of God. This belief is very frightening to them, but hardly troubles God. He is, however, eager to undo it, not to punish His children, but only because He knows that it makes them unhappy. God's creations are given their true authorship, but you prefer to be anonymous when you choose to separate yourself from your author, which is God. Being uncertain of your true authorship, you believe that your creation was anonymous. This leaves you in a position where it sounds meaningful to believe that you created yourself. This dispute over authorship has left such uncertainty in your mind that your mind may even doubt whether you really exist at all. Let's read that sentence again. This leaves you in a position where it sounds meaningful to believe that you created yourself. The dispute over authorship has left such uncertainty in your mind that it may even doubt whether you really exist at all. Only those who give over all desire to reject can know that their own rejection is impossible. You have not usurped the power of God, but you have lost it. Fortunately, to lose something does not mean that it is gone. It merely means that you do not remember what it is. Its existence does not depend on your ability to identify it or even to place it. It is possible to look on reality without judgment and merely know that it is there. And that's what we're wanting to learn. We want to have that vision come back to us where we don't use judgment or the authority problem to navigate. Paragraph 10. Peace is a natural heritage of spirit. Everyone is free to refuse to accept his inheritance, but he is not free to establish what his inheritance is. The problem everyone must decide is the fundamental question of authorship. All fear comes ultimately, and sometimes by way of very devious routes, from the denial of authorship, the denial that God is your creator, your author. The offense is never to God, but only to those who deny him. To deny God's authorship is to deny yourself the reason for your peace, so that you see yourself only in segments. This strange perception is the authority problem. And the last paragraph, 11. There is no one who does not feel that he is imprisoned in some way. There is no one who does not feel that he is imprisoned in some way. If this is the result of his own free will, he must regard his will as not free, or the circular reasoning in this position would be quite apparent. Free will must lead to freedom. Judgment always imprisons because it separates segments of reality by the unstable scales of desire. Wishes are not facts. To wish is to imply that willing is not sufficient. Yet no one in his right mind believes that what is wished is as real as what is willed. Instead, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. I read that wrong. He's getting ready to quote out of Matthew 6 and verse 33, where it's recorded that Jesus said this, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. And he's given us a little deeper way of looking at that too. He says, instead of seek ye the kingdom of heaven, say, will ye first the kingdom of heaven? And you have said, I know what I am, and I accept my own inheritance. Wow. Okay, he's given us some deeper ways to look at some of the things that we learned in the Bible. Okay, let's take a look now at, get some of the snow knocked off of my, it's a kind of fine snow and it's kind of blowing in on things. Okay, it's International Holocaust Remembrance Day, or Auschwitz Liberation Day, Bishu Festival, the Dimasa Kachari people of where are they? They're there in India. I'm not sure where in India, but it's the holiday for respect for your elders. That's a good thing. You know, the Chinese people have a lot of demonstration of that. I think us younger culture in America need to learn about respecting those that are older, wiser, respect our elders. Dimasa Kachari people celebrating Bishu Festival. Bathalism tradition of the Bodhi people in Assam, India. Oh, that is Bathalism tradition. I'm not sure what that is. It's also in India, the Bodhi people of Basana, India. They're having the Bathalism tradition today. It's also in holidays and observances. I found that it's Bible Day. So we had a little bit of understanding of the Bible, a little deeper way of looking at it today. So Bible Day, Geographic Day, Plan for Vacation Day, Speak Up and Succeed Day, Thomas Crapper Day. He's sometimes attributed as the inventor of the toilet, the crapper. But he was actually not really the creator of it. It's mainly just a P-trap. But he's not really the creator of it. He is he was a businessman that was a plumber in England, if I remember right. And he got it, he promoted it, sold crappers. Vietnam Peace Day. So our word for peace in Vietnamese would be Ha Binh. habing. So habing be with you. Or I was going to go with the Filipinos. Philippines is Pansensiya. So one or the other, habing or Pansensiya, which I don't know for sure if I'm pronouncing the Filipino word right. Okay, and then effortless meditation. I found that a Satguru short that I would really encourage you to listen to. He says that an effortless way to meditate is just to realize that nothing is real. It's all made up. And just sit in peace, realizing that reality is, he doesn't really go into much detail other than that, but boy, it sure did ring of our introduction. Nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. To reach that peace that we want to find in meditation, Satguru just says, just realize that everything is an illusion. Everything's make-believe. You made it up. Anyway, so sit with that thought and be at peace. I'll put the link to that. It's only 2 or 3 minutes long. Early contender green bean, a Phaseolus vulgaris, in Gurneys. It's another one of the green beans that I've grown a lot, and I like it. It says it's called the early contender, and it starts producing nearly a week ahead of most varieties, bears 6 to 8 inch stringless pods, and nothing stops it. Resists mosaic virus, greasy pods, tolerates heat, cooks up tender, cans and freezes with no loss of quality. And it's 49 days until maturity. 49 days, that's pretty quick too. Okay, of course that's a warm weather plant. You don't want to plant that until all danger of frost is over. Just like your corn beans and your squashes. Okay, are we ready to close with our song? And you're going to remember telling yourself that throughout the day. Above all else, I want to see. Let me get my gloves off now. Finish out with, can't play my guitar with my gloves on. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let me make sure that I'm still tuned fairly close. I think we're close enough. Above all else I want to see. 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 Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. Above all else I want to see. 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 Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. Above all else I want to see. 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 Okay, tell yourself throughout the day, above all else I want to see. And as they say in the Filipino, Pansensiya. Pansensiya. Peace be with you. Pansensiya. Above all else I want to see.